Hey there, everyone. Attorney Jason Cromey here for another session of the law in a way that folks can understand it. I'm going to talk today about the typical consequences of a first-time DUI. So every case is different. Every county, every jurisdiction is going to be a little different. So I'm really kind of just speaking for what's normal here in the Escambia, Santa Rosa County areas. DUI is a misdemeanor. It's kind of a strange hybrid misdemeanor. Most misdemeanors are typically punishable up to a year in the county jail. First-degree misdemeanors are. A first DUI with nothing else going on, just a first regular DUI, is going to be punishable up to 6 months in the county jail as a maximum. If there's a child in the car that's under a certain age, that penalty will increase to a first-degree misdemeanor. 12 months. Same if your breath test level was over a 0.15, then you're going to be facing the regular misdemeanor up to 12 months in jail scenario. Or if you get in an accident and there's property damage or some damage to a person, then you're going to be looking at that 12-month standard misdemeanor max sentence. So is that what's going to happen to you? Well, if you're a person who's got no prior criminal history, it's your first DUI, you didn't have a kid in the car, you maybe refused, so there's no breath test to show it was over a 0.15, and you didn't get in a wreck, you just got pulled over for not maintaining your lane or speeding or something like that. There are certain punishments that have to be imposed by the law. So if you were to plead straight up to the judge, or you were to enter a negotiated plea to DUI with the state, or you were to go to trial and lose, and you're getting sentenced, there are certain things that has to happen. Number one, you have to be placed on probation. No ifs, ands, or buts about this. DUI conviction is going to require probation. What you're going to see here is 12 months of probation. The special conditions, these are like things that are required by statute, like Tallahassee passed these and said, okay, if someone's convicted of DUI, you've got to do these things, or they've got to do these things. And that list is, it's not too bad. It sounds worse than it truly is. You've got to complete DUI school and a substance abuse evaluation with recommended treatment. Now, remember, the DUI school and the substance abuse evaluation is going to be something that you have to do anyways for the DMV if your license was suspended for blowing over a 0.08 or for refusing. They're not going to issue you a hardship unless you complete, or at least have enrolled in the DUI school and then complete it within 60 days. Same with your regular license if you just decide to sit out your whole suspension period. We have videos on that, on driver's license suspensions and DUI school, so please check those out. But back to the standard conditions of a DUI conviction. Like I said, the first thing, biggest thing is going to be DUI school and the substance abuse evaluation. But just think of it as something you're going to have to do anyways, even, if your case was reduced down to reckless driving or something like that. The DMV is going to make you do it. The next thing you'll have to do is 50 hours of community service work. Courts here will typically let you buy it out at $10 per hour. So instead of doing the 50 hours, you could pay $500 for a combination of doing hours and paying some off. Your fines and court costs are going to typically run around $950, give or take. You're going to have to do a session of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Victim Impact Panel. That is about an hour-and-a-half long course that's offered throughout the nation. It's roughly $35 unless they've increased the prices these days. And so that's just one class you got to do with them. The car involved in the DUI has to be immobilized for a period of 10 days. What does immobilized mean? It doesn't necessarily mean impounded. You could take it to a tow yard and have it impounded for 10 days, but there's other things you can do to just make sure the vehicle isn't operable for a 10-day period. I know in Santa Rosa County, they'll go out sometimes and put a club on your car and they'll keep the key so you can't drive it. The DUI statute allows for you to turn your tag into the tax collector for a period of 10 days because you can't drive a car without a tag on it. And then the judge will order a 6-month driver's license revocation. That'll be in addition to it'll run at the same time as any suspension you're doing for refusal or blowing over a 0.08, but we have a video on that issue and how that works. Typically speaking, on the day you're sentenced, there's a method and a process we can go through. We're pretty good about getting our clients who are eligible a hardship license back that same day or the next day. So, but yeah, so 6-month driver's license revocation. And that's about it. No drinking or drugs while you're on probation, random testing at your own expense. kind of a general condition. So that's what you're looking at. And then if you've played by the rules, you finished everything, after 6 months, they will usually cut you loose and terminate your probation early. So again, that sentence I laid out, that probationary scenario, that is going to be for your first offender, no prior criminal history, no breath over a .15, no kids in the car, no car accident. That's going to be the typical sentence that you see. Now, hopefully, we're able to do some work on your case and get that charge dropped, get it thrown out or reduced or something. But it's because not just, I will say this, it's not just the probation conditions you have to be aware of. If you are convicted of DUI, there are a couple of additional issues you need to know about, like you need to get FR 44 high risk prepaid insurance. That's going to cost you a bunch of money. You'll have a prior DUI in your record, which isn't good. And that can also cause you big problems for traveling internationally. For example, Canada is really tough on letting people in with DUI convictions. It's something you'll have to get a lawyer for and organize ahead of time. But anyways, for a first offense DUI, that's kind of what you're looking at. We will follow this up with a series on, what happens as you increase the number of DUIs you get and how close in time they are from one another. But anyways, if you have questions about your case, you find yourself in this situation and you're worried about what might happen to you, give us a call. I can walk through all this with you and hopefully make you feel a little better about your situation and go forward from there. Okay? Have a great day.